Vanakkam, Namaste, and blessings to everyone across the globe. This is the Sky Priestess. We are going to be seeing the Sun opposing the Galactic Center tomorrow. Now, the Galactic Center is currently at 27 degrees Sagittarius, whereas the Sun will be at 27 degrees Gemini. I'm paraphrasing the words of Philip Sedgwick, who is arguably the astrologer whom I reference the most when looking at and trying to understand the Galactic Center for myself. This is basically a time of intense defragmentation. We are being encouraged to take massive data dumps, in the sense that we are being asked to let go of old ways in which we have seen the world. It is about the ideas, the concepts, the paradigms through which we understand ourselves and the realities in which we interact and inhabit. So it's really, think about it as spring cleaning for the mind. Now, the way I would interpret it, building from that interpretation, is that, well, basically as human beings, what we tend to do is we tend to, associate two different concepts or two different bodies with some type of associational relationship. Over time, that relationship becomes solidified in the mind as a neural pathway. Now, neural pathways can and always do change. That's part of that's a consequence of having what we call a neuroplastic brain. But what happens when the Galactic Center is aspected is basically we are asked to shift up and change up some of the more entrenched neural pathways in our brain, which we have used to create certain systems of reference, certain systems of understanding, certain ways of perceiving the world and interacting in it. It's time for our cognitive maps and cognitive templates to basically evolve, to change. Now, this type of evolution and change is usually not something which people voluntarily go into. It tends to take some kind of a trigger or some kind of a catalyst. And what we will be seeing, especially tomorrow, is, are individuals, statements, be they statements from institutions of higher learning, religious institutions, political parties. We're going to be seeing statements coming at us from the public eye that are going to ask us, or rather tell us, that we need to question some fundamental ways in which we have been interpreting our realities. Now, it's not just the Sun and the Galactic Center that get activated in tomorrow's opposition. It is also the immensely important Grand Fire Trine that the Galactic Center is a part of. That Grand Fire Trine is made up of Uranus in Aries, the North Node in Leo, and of course the Galactic Center itself. Now, Saturn in Sagittarius is also nearby, and Eris in Aries. So we are really being asked to look at the ways in which we get inspired in the world, how we exert our will in the world through whether it is the mantle or the mask of leadership, or both. How it is we actually take our will, our inspiration, our passions, and translate that into some kind of a path that we then ask others to follow, or hope others will be inspired by to follow on their own will. It's really when Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius come together to say, here I am, this is what I'm going to be doing with the world, and this is the road that I'm taking. These are very active and dynamic energies, and they are also going to be very strongly activated by tomorrow's opposition. There is, of course, a lot of other things going on in the skies. We don't seem to be having quiet skies anytime soon. But the key take-home message is this: you will be inspired. Some of this inspiration will be in ways that you might consider positive. You may get a new idea that can germinate a whole new path of action for you in the future. You may find a quality of leadership inside of you that you didn't realize that you had. You may also see ways of seeing yourself that will then open you onto new gates of self-discovery and learning and all that wonderful kind of stuff, which is all great. But for those who embrace the process willingly, that's going to be an exciting energy for you to work with. But those who do not want to change the ways in which they see the world, those who do not want to question the neural pathways which represent the ways in which we see reality, those who are not comfortable questioning the blind spots, questioning the areas in which we have either practiced circumspection or denial, those who are not willing to do those steps may find this energy much more challenging. And so the information that comes your way may be things that come in quote, a negative form, if we can use that. That is a heuristic metaphor. So statements from political leaders, statements from people you look up to, statements from books, statements on Facebook may come your way to basically make you question, do I really know what I know? And if you can take that with grace, that's going to be a platform for your growth. And if you can't, that's going to be a platform for a lot of ego bruising. So that's just a quick heads up. I hope this information serves you well. If you are feeling overstimulated at this time, remember to go back and ground. Get plenty of hydration, get plenty of sleep, take care of the basics of the body. Smoky quartz would be the crystal that jumps out at me at this time. So too does clear quartz, but remember, clear quartz can be programmed for any intention. I would say in terms of essential oils, you may want to be using frankincense. Remember to always read and research before use. Frankincense is wonderful in helping us open up to different levels of truth. But of course, there will be other stones and other gemstones that you can, other stones and oils that you can also use as well. And yeah, that about sums it up. And as Facebook has decreased its reach even more, for those of you who want to follow my updates, please do like and follow the Sky Priestess page or my blog, www.BairaveeBalasubramaniam.com. So you take care, Goddess bless, and stay tuned to the cues that come your way tomorrow, and grow. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. Ciao, ciao.